Hey YouTube, this is Randy here, and this is Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works on Wednesday, June 1st. I am your Wednesday vlogger, obviously because it's Wednesday, and I'm here to comment on this week's topic. So here we go. This week's question is, did you lose fast at the beginning of your journey? Common question, or the common misconception with lap band or gastric bypass or any type of weight loss surgery is that I'm going to drop 50 bajillion pounds like that overnight. Fantastic, it'll be great, my life will be fantastic, and I'll never go back to being fat or overweight again. Wrong. Sorry. If you think it's the magic solution, you are terribly wrong, and that's why you should pay attention to this channel, because there's a lot of, yes, it does work, but it doesn't happen overnight. One of the best things I heard going into this was from my surgeon the day that I went to an orientation meeting on it with my mother, because she actually had gastric bypass done as well. I had lap band, she had gastric bypass. The best quote I ever heard from him was, you didn't put it on overnight, so it's not going to come off overnight. It takes time. You know, you've built years and years and years to put all the weight on, so it's going to take a little bit of time to take it off. Most likely it's going to come off a little bit faster than the traditional method of diet and exercise, but it's not going to just, rapidly come off. And also, it's what you put into it. The harder you work, the more it's probably going to come off. The less you work, the less it's going to come off. It's just kind of what happens with your body. So in response to that, I just looked up my numbers and to see how I've been doing. I am 70 weeks as of yesterday post-op, and I am currently down 55.9 pounds, so just shy of 60. And that's also, I have seen within the past 2 weeks, I've been almost 63 pounds down, but kind of my weight right now is fluctuating because of some things that are going on in my life. So, about a year and a half post-op, about 60 pounds down. So, my surgery date, excuse me, I'm sorry, just ate something and I'm burping, that's what I usually do after I eat, so excuse me. My surgery date was January 26, 2010, and so I looked back how much I lost. I got the Realize band, and one of the biggest reasons I got that was because they have an online service, and I think lap band has it too, but I just chose Realize. Just because, so I just made a decision. But they have like an online program, so you can kind of track your weight and your measurements and your food intake and all this kind of, stuff that I thought would be pretty cool. So the first week I kept up with it. I think I logged my weight every single day, but I'm just going to go kind of by weeks here, not by day. But in the first week, I lost 10.3 pounds. I didn't have to do a pre-op liquid diet or anything like that, so my starting weight was 245.9 the day of surgery. I actually am one of those odd candidates that my BMI was right, like teeny tiny below the qualifying, so I actually gained weight for the surgery, which I don't recommend, but that's what I did, just to kind of get me in. I was just like right on the line, and they almost didn't take me because of my BMI. Luckily, I had a comorbidity of, I think, acid reflux, and I was on the verge of diabetes, so that kind of helped me too. But I actually ended up gaining some weight before the lap band, so I could get myself up there. So, the first week, 10.3 pounds, and most of that was due to, because I just had major surgery on my stomach, I really couldn't eat, didn't feel like eating. I was eating all liquids if I ate anything. So, obviously, if you're not eating, especially, if you drop the calories, going from, probably I was eating who knows how many calories, probably double the amount I should be eating in a day, to, less, if I was just eating chicken broth, you're obviously going to drop weight. So 10.3 in the first week. After that, life happened, so I didn't really keep track. I didn't, from the beginning, I didn't keep myself accountable. I kind of had, as bad as it is, and I've learned from it, I know it now, and I know I was told in the beginning, I kind of had that mentality of, well, my stomach's smaller, I'll eat smaller portions, I'll be okay, I can still eat this and this, and just as long as it's smaller portions. And it was just kind of one of those things that, it's like, duh, looking back, no you can't, no you can't, no you can't. So I don't want to say I fell off the wagon, but I didn't hold myself accountable. I didn't really exercise, I did it here and there. I didn't eat a protein-rich diet, you know, those types of things. So I actually didn't really log my weight. I really wish I would have, looking back now. But I didn't start logging my weight again until week 33, and that is actually the week when I first started watching YouTube videos. This was this past September of 2010. I have a coworker here at work. She suggested watching. She was kind of in the same boat that I am. She had kind of stalled out. Wasn't doing all the greatest things that she was supposed to be doing. I was a little frustrated, and she said she found a couple people on YouTube and started watching them. So in September I started watching people like Banded Wendy, New Toy for Katie, with Germ One, all those different types of people that I still watch and keep track of today, as well as many new people. And I kind of had to change. So I started watching them, picking up tips from them, watching what they were doing, all the success that they were having, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. They're doing it, why can't I do it? So from week 1 to week 33, I lost an additional 12.8 pounds. So in 33 weeks, I lost, sorry, my math is terrible, so I'll do 33 weeks, I lost 23.1 pounds. So that's an average of 0.7 pounds a week. So just shy of a pound a week. Okay? So then week 34 through 45, which takes me up until about December, I lost another 10 pounds. And so that brings me to 33.1. And week 45, what happened there was that was when I started making my own YouTube videos, holding myself accountable, coming in weekly. You know, I've been doing this now, sorry, minus 45. Doing this for 25 weeks now, and holding myself accountable, keeping track of my weight. I actually weigh every single day, keep track of it every day now, but I only, only on Tuesdays is when it counts, or when, that's the day I not record, because I record every day, but it's the day I keep track of, the day that matters. So with that, I've lost an additional 22.8 pounds. So the most significant amount of weight that I have lost has been in the 25 weeks that I have held myself accountable. And I'm not saying, I've had ups and downs, I've had bad weeks and good weeks, I've had gains, and I've a couple pounds off, 5 pounds off one week, 2 pounds on the next, it's back and forth, excuse me, and that's all because of how I am. I still am, around holidays, like I talked about in my weekly post yesterday, Memorial Day weekend, I indulged, relaxed, it's the weekend, why not? There have been times where I haven't exercised, and it's all me. So, the weight is going to come off as fast, as much work as you put into it. So some people lose really fast, and some people take their time. So, like I said, I'm down 55.9 right now with my loss, and I've been over 70 weeks. So again, that's about 0.8 per week, a little bit under a pound a week, which I'm happy with. With the Realize band, they told me about a pound to 2 pounds. Definitely, I could be doing more. Definitely. And I think, with the summertime coming and me being a teacher coming off school, I think I'm going to up some of the things that are going on. I've just had a stressful last couple of months, and it's all due to work, so hopefully now that I'll be out of work, I can concentrate a little bit more on myself and kind of get myself back in the mode. My goal for this year is actually to be at my goal weight by the end of the year. So December 31st, I want to be at my goal weight, and that goal weight right now is 147. So hopefully I can get there. I have over a little bit of 6 months to go, and hopefully I can get there. And again, it's all me. I need to hold myself accountable, get back out there, get to the gym, all kinds of stuff. So I feel like I'm rambling today, talked a lot today, and I hope I answered your question. If you have any other questions for me, what I'm doing, how I'm trying to get the weight off, feel free to message me or leave a comment or whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll see you next week on Wednesday. Have a great week. Bye.